Want to learn the secrets to writing and playing songs just like Nickelback? Yeah, I thought not. No, seriously, I know they catch a lot of flack and they're for some reason the band that everybody loves to hate, but Nickelback has sold over 50 million records, have had gargantuan hits, some of which wound up on movie soundtracks, and live, they really burn it to the ground. They must be doing something right? Seriously though, just bear with me. Promise to be nice to me and each other in the comments, and I'll show you the secrets that Nickelback use to write their hit songs, how they get their signature sound, and maybe, just maybe, how to be a rock star. All right, let's go. What's up, my ninjas? It's Nick from GuitarDojo.ca. I'm an Amazon #1 best-selling author of Guitar Method books, 20-plus year veteran of the professional music industry, and I'm here to help you, the intermediate guitar player, get back into the game of playing guitar faster and easier than you ever thought possible without all the hassle and technical jargon of music theory or hard-to-understand concepts. Basically, I'm here to help you make music fun again. But before we get rolling, here's today's question of the day. What's your favorite Nickelback song, and why is it Animals? Look, I get it, you're thinking, Nick, I hate Nickelback, and I'm gonna thumbs down this video and unsubscribe from your channel right now! Whoa. Before you spam me with hatred in the comment section, as I said before, Nickelback has sold a metric records and have been a successful touring band for just 3 years shy of 3 decades, as of the making of this video anyway. In the atmosphere of today's music industry, that is no small achievement. I'm sure I don't have to tell you. With hits like How You Remind Me, Rockstar, Burn It to the Ground, Animals, and Photograph, it's no wonder that their stars are solidified, or soon will be, in the corporate rock pantheon alongside the likes of Boston, Def Leppard, Steel Panther, and Gwar. Just kidding. Gwar is the eater of souls and none shall survive their wrath. Sorry. Anyway, there was scarcely a time in the 2000s that you could leave your house or turn on the radio in your car, remember those days, without hearing Chad Kroeger belting out one of their anthemic chorus lines. And that's one of their secrets, but more on that later. It was even worse here in Canada because we have this thing called Canadian Content Laws, commonly referred to as CanCon. That's the Canadian Radio and Television Commission that demands a whopping 30% of radio content must be from Canadian artists. So without a huge pool of artists to choose from during the 2000s, if you liked hard rock, and I did, you heard a lot of Nickelback. I even wrote a song mimicking Rockstar, at least in feeling and sort of general lyrical content. Honestly, I think any of us would be absolutely tickled to have even one hit on the radio as big as How You Remind Me, which did hit #1 in the rock singles charts, by the way, let alone 6 singles that charted in the top 10 and 14 in the top 50. And that's just in the US, by the way. Anyway, my point is this. If you're looking for some rock, hard rock, hit songwriting tips, I think you could do a lot worse than looking to Chad Kroeger and Nickelback. Let's roll the tips and tricks. #1, drop tune or detune that guitar, baby. As was common in the 2000s, most, if not all of Nickelback's songs feature this super easy and heavy sounding tuning, named for its simple drop tuning of the E string one full step down from the standard E to the new lowered D. This allows you to chug away with just one finger and get an immensely heavier sound without doing any extra work. This is thanks to the inversion, changing of the order of the notes of the power chord. But I'm not going to go into too much detail here on music theory, so if you're interested in learning more about intervals and chord construction, then you can check out the link below to find my book, Basic Music Theory for Guitarists, on Amazon, which helps support this channel and is what allows me to make content like this for you guys week after week. #2, use cliched chord progressions. Music is all about repetition. Repeating the same thing over and over, like a chorus for example, breeds a sense of rest and home while giving people something that is familiar to sing along with, that is easier or at least shorter than the melody of the verses, for example. In that same vein, people like hearing the same thing again and again and again and again. Music is all about repetition after all. The writer Neil Gaiman said it best when it comes to coming up with hit books. And I'm paraphrasing here, but basically he said fans essentially love what they love. So they basically will tell you, I'll have the same thing again, please. All you have to do is to listen to Pat Cabell's canon to understand that that simple chord progression has been used as the basis for so many songs. Music is all about repetition. So much so that the Axis of Awesome wrote a great song skit using this chord progression called 4-Chord Song, using just those same 4 chords and outlining about 72 hit songs from 1952 all the way to modern times, which of course used and reused and used again that same chord progression over and over and over again to create some of the biggest hits that you've probably ever heard. However, that 4-chord progression is only one of many, and Nickelback takes advantage of many of them. Check out this clip. Again, if you'd like a list of these chord progressions spelled out for you and a bit of a shortcut for hit songwriting, please be sure to check out my book, Basic Music Theory for Guitarists, that I mentioned earlier. It includes a whole section just on this topic. Number 3, multi-tracked guitars. It's no secret that Chad Kroeger is a huge fan of Metallica. However, he doesn't pull off the Explorer look quite as coolly as James does. Too bad, Chad. Nobody looks as cool as James. The thing that Nickelback takes from Metallica's bag of tricks, specifically when it comes to recording guitars, is more. What exactly do I mean by that? Well, if you've listened to any Nickelback record since about All the Right Reasons forward, you'll notice that the rhythm guitars sound huge, punishing, and mean. I think it's on display especially well in Dark Horse. This is achieved by multi-tracking. This is not something you can do live per se, though there are switchers, splitters, and routing systems that will allow you to send your signal to multiple amps, and so you can to a certain extent do it live, but it takes a lot of money and a lot of gear to be able to pull it off. But on recording, it's as simple as recording your rhythm guitar again and again and again until you have a giant wall of guitar. Here, check it out. You'll see what I mean. Music, and in this case production for guitars, is all about repetition. Number 4, sing-along choruses. Don't bore us, get to the chorus, as the saying goes. The most important part of any good pop rock, heavy rock song is a good singable chorus. And Nickelback has had tons. To be honest, Nickelback isn't the only band that does this. In fact, many bands use this technique, from Metallica to Miley Cyrus to Elton John. Heck, even Mozart has sing-along moments, even if they don't qualify as choruses per se. The hook of a great riff will only get you so far. Real people need to connect with lyrics. In other words, meaning for or from their lives, and they need to be able to sing along with you to really internalize the song and make it a valuable part of their existence. When you do this for someone else, your song not only gets stuck in their head because of the melodic content, it will also get stuck in their soul because of the emotional content. There's a great quote: "People won't always remember what it is you did, but they will always remember how you made them feel." After all, music is about connecting with people and making them feel something. So remember that the next time you're worried about playing 708 notes per minute in a descending diminished 7th 6-string arpeggio sweep hybrid picking pattern. There you have it. The top 4 secrets to hit songwriting that I just stole from Nickelback. You can take these hints and apply them to just about any genre of music, although I might argue that the drop D tuning approach will work best for rock, heavy rock, or pop rock. Hopefully, you can take some of these tricks and use them for your very own songwriting. And remember, if you'd like to get into more detail about any of the technical jargon that I briefly mentioned during this video, you can check out my book, Basic Music Theory for Guitarists, that I wrote specifically with the beginner to intermediate guitarist in mind. It's in plain English, so you don't have to get lost for years trying to figure out what's important. Thank you for watching, my ninjas. As always, I'm Nick Morrison from GuitarDojo.ca. I've been here, and you've been wonderful. Keep strumming, and we'll see you next Tuesday.